Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you choose to listen to this. Welcome to another episode of Debates Never Die. I'm joined by three experts of the sports. To my left, we...
experts is a reach, man.
There's one Vinicius expert. Vinicius expert.
We have two experts and one Vinicius expert.
Come on, bro.
Let's respect three. We have three experts. To my left, Vinicius Jr.'s cousin, Rindai. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you doing?
Everything's good. Everything's lovely. We're going to get into your boy today. We've been having a lot of heated... Hey, pause.
Try that again. Second line.
We're gonna talk about your boy today.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of heated debates in pre-production. To the left of him, the connoisseur of FM, he put that game on the map. He is a legend in those streets. Khanya Mosetlhi, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, good to be here. Good to be here. Top of the log still. You know, nothing crazy.
You're still going.
What's your save?
What's your save, brother? Huh?
What's your save?
I've got too many, dog. I haven't lost one. I'm one of the best.
Who's the team now?
Villarreal, Milan, whatever. Whatever, dog. I'm the best.
What year are you in, bro?
That's why he's talking about your mouth.
Multiverses, dog.
Yesterday.
Multiverses, bro.
Yeah.
I'm Doctor Strange with it everywhere.
He's cooking in
That's
FM.
why he's got nightmares. He said, damn, my team got cooked by your mouth.
That
That's
is
why he's
so
about your mouth
funny.
today.
Oh my goodness. And to the left of him, he is a true ambassador of Manchester United. He co-signs everything that comes out of the club.
Almost.
From Sir Jim Ratcliffe all the way to Ruben Amorim and Michael Carrick. Thabani, how are you doing, my guy?
The shirt's back. It's
Yeah.
been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. And the humiliation ritual of Amorim, those days are behind us. I can actually wear my shirt with pride.
When do you guys play?
Today.
Oh, before Arsenal.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
We're stealing third place of Aston Villa. Give me that.
this is being
give me
recorded
that.
before
Give
the
me
Sunday.
that. You don't know what to do with that. Give me that.
Today's the 2nd of March, right?
First.
This is being recorded before the 1st of March fixtures in the Prem and around Europe. So our takes are not obviously factoring in the results of those games.
No, I am. We're winning. I'm co-signed. I can see the future. Good win today, lads. Well done.
I just feel I need to specify because sometimes we have takes and then we post and then I was just saying, what are you talking about? We're like, no, dude, you can't apply to this week's fixtures. This is from 2 weeks ago. Anyways, we're going to start with the Soweto derby. We're going to start local. Believe it or not, we're actually a South African podcast. So we're going to start with the PSL. I was at the game. Thabani was kind of at the game. I don't know if you want to
I was
give
there,
context.
bro. I was there. Like when the game was happening, I was there.
You were in
When I
attendance.
say I watched the game is a different story, but yeah, I was there.
Just absolute pandemonium. So for context from my side, the only other Soweto derby I'd watch, and I told Thabani this yesterday, was when we used to have that Carling...
The Black Label Cup.
Yeah, where they bring an English team in play. So I
Yeah.
remember in 06 they brought United, and I watched like Chiefs United, Pirates United, then Pirates Chiefs. So that's the only experience I have personally with a Soweto derby. So for me, this was basically... It was a first-time experience because this is in the new stadium. This is...
Also as an adult.
As an adult, right?
Yeah.
This is also now... It's the PSL, right? And my takeaways before we get into the details or we get to Bunny's point of view or you guys want to chime in, this league should be so much bigger than it is. Like, I know this is something we've been saying about South African football for so long when we talk about like, where should we be ranking globally? We've spoken about investment. There's been embezzlement from certain heads of SAFA. We're not going to get into that for legal reasons. But it really should be so much bigger than it is. And I say that because I really was taken aback. Obviously, I've watched La Liga, I've watched Prem, I've watched MLS, Club World Cup, internationally traveled. And I don't think I've actually ever seen, in all seriousness, including Arsenal, I watched, Malaga against Madrid. And I don't think I've seen fan bases that invested in their clubs. Like it's the passion that we often speak about being gone in European football, right? And they talk about the foreigners and whatever. I mean, maybe that's the case. I saw in that stadium. I got to the ground 2 hours before kickoff. Chiefs fans were there. Pirates fans were there, singing, creating vibes. It was absolutely unbelievable. One thing I will say, for anyone else wanting to go, because apparently everyone knew this but me, if you're going to the Soweto derby, don't get a general ticket because you will be fighting for your life.
No. Get a general ticket, but I understand it's a derby. Like, dog, please don't think you're getting there to get a toasted cheese. No. You're going there, people have come from Spain, they've worked hard the whole week. This is the big thing. Don't go to the bathroom now and leave the whole row empty. Your seats are going to go. That's okay.
So that's
it's okay.
But you know,
It's urgent, this game. It's bigger than anything else.
So you co-sign.
Yes!
Khanya.
It's how it is.
Bro,
It's
first
how
come,
it is.
first serve.
Like it's how our
That's what our system's like.
The system. It's so
Yeah.
it's systemic, but also cultural. Like
Right.
unreserved seating is a systemic thing. You can't assign people seats, but culturally, like. You get to the ground first. You get your seat. That's you.
Yeah.
That's you. The latecomers.
If you want
the
a
latecomers are
specific seat,
penalized.
get there early.
Yeah.
That's
Can
really good.
I defend myself here? I think it's all good and well.
I can see Americans soften you.
No, don't do that, bro.
Clearly.
It's all good and well. Listen, it's all good and well for like I have no problem with Oaks sitting on barricades. Oaks, that's fine. They're one of some of the most iconic pictures in the history of football. You know, like the olden days. But Oaks are hanging off the watch. Love that. I'm just saying, for overflow, there must be a section for overflow. Seats are seats, guys. I can't be rocking a Malume for my seat. No, man. And now he's sweating and no. Like that's my only complaint. Anyways, sorry, Tony.
No, I'm just saying, but part of what you described, that passion, that love for
It
that's
comes
part
with
of
that.
It. You can't separate the two.
Guys, you can.
I don't
can't
think
separate
there's
the
orderly passion. Just generally.
You don't think it's?
There's orderly passion. I don't think that's really that's
No,
a
that
thing,
exists.
really.
That exists in other spaces around the world where, and like again, culturally, you're not going to go to Old Trafford on the biggest game of the season and fight for your seat.
Right.
But part of our experience locally, like I said, it's those two factors. Like that's part of the experience.
So,
So when you sign up for the ticket, when you buy the ticket, that's what you're signing. That's what you're getting into. So, if you want to experience the highs of the derby and the incredible vibes and see the passion,
was incredible.
And like what Khanya says, how much it means to our people.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to take what comes with it.
That's fair.
That's the unsigned, unwritten agreement.
One question. If the answer is consistent, then I'll hold. You've been to the mini Sundowns games, the
100%.
derby games. Same experience for
It's a South African
It's a South African
football thing.
staple.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was gonna say culturally,
I'll hold.
so systemically, the ticket providers don't do reserve seating for South African football.
Yeah.
That is we go to the smallest stadium, the biggest stadium.
Yeah.
There's only 2 games this season, now 3 that sell out FNB, right? So for FNB, they only have to deal with this issue 3 times a year. So they have accepted it. Then culturally, you can't at FNB have reserve seating when at Solomon Mahlangu Stadium, which holds 5,000 people, you can't do reserve seating on a stand.
Right.
And it's the same football fans.
Yeah.
You're catering to the same audience. The same people who will fill up that game will drive to Joburg to this
to
game.
watch
Like you
that
can't
game.
change it for them.
That's
so
real.
It is consistent.
No,
I think.
I've been schooled. Because for me, my only experience watching a PSL game was Sturrock Park when we were at Wits.
Oh, yeah.
And that was obviously like hybrid uni /
And again, it's a stand.
It's a stand as well. So no, I'll hold. I've been corrected. Anyways, getting into the details of the game, because I do just want to touch on that thrashing from Pirates. I want to start with Apollos. I said in the AFCON episodes we had recorded that I'm not necessarily sure how I feel about Apollos as a player, because I recognize how brilliant he is, but it doesn't have the same level of, like when I think of like football, South African stars, right? Football stars that have like captivated the league and the country. Yes, they can assimilate to how we play football, but there was a level of calm. There's almost like a thing of like, they're playing the game at their own pace. So I think when I say that, I think most of like Teko Modise, right? I think of Sibusiso Vilakazi when he was at Wits and he was also doing Amaza. I think of like, I don't know, even someone like Billiat who also went crazy. Where it's like, yes, we know South African football, high press, you have to be very athletic, very fit, end to end. But those guys, especially Teko, would slow the game down. So for me with Apollos, I was a bit skeptical because I felt he would give into the opposition and how the opposition was attacking or defending, and you kind of rush. Yesterday, I was corrected because him and Moremi were by far and wide the 2 best players on the pitch, in my opinion. And I want to know for you guys, right? Please, guys, chime in where you feel comfortable. Where do you rank Apollos when you think of South African superstar? Is this someone that Bafana can build on? Or is this someone that you're saying he's going to have a good career, but he's not the guy? I think of like a Simpiwe Chabalala, right? Because, internationally people think Chabalala is the guy,
option
but
B
he was
for me.
option B for you.
Yeah, like he's dope though. He's really, really good.
Yeah.
Good goal, but like generally, I'm not moved to believe. I can't project forward with him, and I feel like the really good players immediately are thinking they can go and do this. They can go. They can take that next step. I don't feel that way about him. I think he's just very good.
Just a solid. So do you think a Chabalala comparison is somewhat like
I'm not mad at it.
apt? Like
I'm not mad at it.
You just like a household name, but not necessarily who you build.
Yeah.
Thabani, you have anything?
No, he's not a superstar.
Not a
And he
superstar.
won't be.
Oh, wow.
He's just, but no, he's very talented. Pollis came from Polokwane City, where, again, Polokwane City was never a team that was going to win anything, a team that was going to be where he stayed forever. Like, he got his big move to Pirates now this season, and like, he is what he is for them. He's very talented South African footballer who can, on his day, be the best player on the pitch. But with his style of play and the way Pirates play football and the way this manager this season has changed the team this much, like, he will never be the guy who, like you're describing, who will play 5 games in a row and you'll get 5 of the same performances from him. Like, that's just how Ozuna Policy is. So when we talk about how like a superstar would be someone that you can rely on week in, week out. We talk about when you sustain performance is what makes you the best. I don't think you'll ever get that from him, but that's not an Apollos thing. That's a South African football thing.
Fairs.
We've got a lot of players who have tremendous talent, but then when it comes to delivery and sustained performance, they never get there. So he's in the best environment possible now for him to at least be one of their best players. And if he's one of their best players, they will succeed. But in terms of 5 years from now, are we going to be talking about Apollos the same way we speak about certain legends? Probably not. But that doesn't mean he won't end up having a good career. And like I said, it's not an Apollos thing. It's not an attack on Apollos. There's so many players who are like this. So they can get to that level, but they don't, and not always through fault of their own.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And actually, interesting you put it that way, because I think my favorite South African footballer right now is actually Moremi. I think Sipang Moremi. It's kind of, when I was watching the game yesterday, I just had flashes of Klopp's Liverpool, because the way Pirates set up, right, they pushed Hoto and who's their right back?
Sebelebele.
Yes, Sebelebele. They pushed them high. So Chiefs, let's, from a tactical perspective, right? So Chiefs
are shit.
They're a mess. And I want to get more insight into that, because I really did not know. No, it's bad, eh? I've never seen a team so, it was Amarim-esque, just from the perspective of what you have versus what you're trying to do. And I didn't get it. But the way, so they've set up with a back 5 out of possession, right? And that, I guess, was from the threat of the 2 wide players from Pirates. You want to double up on them 2v1s. What Pirates then did very simply, Sebelebele, Hoto, push them high. That was like Trent and Robertson, right? Have them high, occupying those wing backs. Now, all of a sudden, you have Moremi and Apollos, the most pacey and skillful players, matching up with your right and your left centre backs. And I think it was Matthews was one of the centre backs, if I'm not mistaken. And it just was a mess. They couldn't win 1v1s. They couldn't make their challenges. They couldn't track them. And Moremi and Apollos are very patient. They'll pick the ball. They'll dribble backwards if they have to draw you out of that pocket. And now they're crashing. So I think when I looked at Moremi, it reminds me of like Mane versus Salah, just from the perspective of Apollos is the name, right? Everyone knows that's the danger man for Pirates. But I really think Moremi is more sustained. For Bafana as well. I didn't understand why we benched him
in the Cameroon game.
I didn't understand why we benched him in the Cameroon game. Like, it didn't make sense to me. But yeah, that was I just love the way they approach the game. I think they're very clear in their identity. Direct football, on the break, exciting. I saw my boy Mahopa come on. That's my dog.
Yeah, the reception he got.
No, he's actually a cult hero in South African football. He's unbelievable. But now, sorry, just on Chiefs. Thabani, I've only really, since I've been back watching PSL. So what is that? What is this thing of playing 5 at the back but not having transition threats, but wanting to build through 3 phases of play?
Leave the football, mate. I had this discussion with my friend in the car on the way to the game. So I grew up watching Chiefs. I grew up in a Chiefs household. I was a Chiefs fan at a stage until I wasn't, for other reasons. But like I said to him yesterday, like, Chiefs is like, it's a failing institution. And then he told me Man United are a failing institution. I said no, because Man United have had pockets of success in a very down period of their thing, but they've still been a club with ambitions of, they're still running themselves like a club that's trying to do something.
Right.
They just made a lot of bad decisions. Chiefs, you speak to any South African football fan, the decision makers there are probably not the right people there. I won't name drop anyone for future. Yeah, no, can't bump into them. But no, it's like, so it's a combination of bad decisions. Then you get that Man United effect of like, the environment is, it's like a club that's trying to live off its brand, as opposed to like make the right decision. So they've always been one step away. Instead of firing the coach at the right time, they stick with the coach. Then they stick with the coach that they should have fired. Then they lose a player and then they sign a player, the wrong player. Then you can always throw big wages at these players to attract everyone. So it's a club that's trying to run itself like it was 20 years ago.
Right.
When football has changed, the landscape has changed. Orlando Pirates went through the same thing, where a period of no success, and then organizationally they changed the way they approach things, the way they approach signings, to where now they've probably got man for man the best squad in the country, but the way they run and the level of player that they have, like those players understand the importance of playing for Pirates and what they're trying to achieve. Whereas you get the sense that Chiefs are signing players that are just can tell people they play for Chiefs.
Right.
So
right.
So it's
That's
then
so
a
true.
case of like they were outgunned yesterday, but it didn't hurt them. You could see it didn't hurt them because they'll win 2 games from now and fans will be happy and they play for Chiefs and it's the best thing in the world when you play for Chiefs and you're winning. You're a superstar. But then the next week when they lose a mediocre performance and put in a mediocre performance, nothing is going to happen to these players. The management, nothing's going to happen to them, and it's just you're running in a loop now. You're running in a loop of mediocrity. So that's why I say they're a failing institution because there's nothing that shows you that they're on the way up. So these pockets of belief when you start the season with 3 wins and you're 9 points, like it's so good for us when Chiefs. If you have Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns good at the same time, it's
the league
amazing.
is up. Yeah.
But I know who's going to fall first, and it's probably they're going to trip over themselves, and they've been doing that time after time. So it's been like that. My last season as a Chiefs fan was when we lost. When they lost the league on the last day of the season to Sundowns.
Yes.
After that, I like disassociated, and then since then, like nothing has changed. Coaching changes, player changes, promises, like it's the same over and over again. So they're stuck in that loop, and I don't know what it's going to get them out of that loop because Pirates got themselves out of that loop. Sundowns is not going to get themselves into that loop because they can change things very quickly. They've got the power. But I just don't know what's going to happen at Chiefs when you've got a club and a brand of that stature and that size, like getting in its own way all the time. And that's why, like you said on the story yesterday, title hopes.
Gone.
There were no title hopes. Literally, I wanted to say that.
Oh, no, but they really weren't. Dude, Mush didn't watch the game. And he's a Chiefs player. He doesn't watch them anymore. He's done.
They were just high up on the table because
They were,
but
like, it was like Villa. They're going to win the league.
Right.
So that's just where they've been, you know what I'm saying? And they need to get out of their own way. Hopefully they can because that's what South African football wants and we need.
Yes,
but
for sure.
Until that time happens, it's going to remain like this. And you could tune out of South African football for the next 2-3 years and come back to this exact same situation that they're in if nothing changes.
And you know, the only thing we can move on now because I actually want Rindai to talk. So the only standout for me about Chiefs, the two standout players that I really enjoyed watching. Obo, I think, played really well. All things considered, they were overrunning that midfield, and that white cam, Chislett. He came from England, eh?
Yeah.
I think it's so funny because obviously having come through the system at an academy level, I've never been like explosive or athletic. And I remember like, was it Coach Nick or Coach, I forgot which one, it was at the Balfour Aces when they were like to me, they stepped me aside after practice and they're like, dude, you need to learn how to read a football pitch because this thing of keeping up with Oaks is dead, right? Because now it was you, Alessandro, all these fast Oaks. And I'm so grateful for that because I saw it yesterday exactly what he was talking about. You can see Chislett is a great footballer, but you can see him come up. I don't know if his academy history, maybe he did, but you can see they're ticking at a higher frequency, the other players. So often he's getting dispossessed from behind. He's trying to make a pass. They're cutting it off. And in the second half, when they surrounded him with wingers, when they took off the extra centre back, brought on the other cam, the other wingers, now he's ticking. Because one thing I've always had an issue with South African football, and it's why I loved Swallows so much, because Swallows played a style that matched the players they had. Long balls, switching. I've always had a bit of an issue with trying to make everyone assimilate. Not everyone is...
It's just like force fitting.
Yeah, not everyone can play in the pockets and, there are guys who have different attributes. And I think Chislett is a guy who, when the game is in front of him and there's movement around him, is phenomenal. So I really like those two performances. Otherwise, you guys may see photos of me in a Chiefs shirt. It was just because the drip was crazy. I actually don't... It's Amakosi for the weekend. That was for me.
These guys are hype beasts.
Nah, but old school. Shout out to old school because those things are phenomenal.
Yeah, no, shout out to old school.
Yeah.
You want to partner with us? Shout out to old school. Really.
While we're here,
Old school, shout out.
You guys are incredible. Guys, go shop at old school.
Make this clip go viral. Old school. You need to see this.
Okay. Let's get Regans involved. Let's go to La Liga now. Okay, so we're on the back end of a Lamine hat trick. And we've been having a lot of conversations about how do we look at Yamal's season?
Taj Mahal.
How do we talk about him? How do we place him in the grand scheme of football? Rick, did you just get your...
my guy, nah.
So as
Official announcement, Big 7 is back. Big 7 And he's back to snatch your guy's chain and your guy's chain.
Stole it.
Stole that
Stole
shit.
that shit.
So, to give the listeners some
Big Seven
can you
is
actually
back.
Put him right there, please.
He is back.
So Big Seven is back. Vinny's back, and
Hey,
I want to
can't believe
table
you own
this.
thing.
Sorry?
I can't believe you own this thing.
No, it's perfect.
He had it for that whole segment. man.
Just waiting.
I'm waiting one more. I won't lie.
Ooh, the way I want to table this discussion, right, is because Rindai made a really good point when we were talking personally about Vinny, and he spoke about how Vinny has the most goal contributions in finals in Madrid history, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable statistic. So I think we all acknowledge that in Madrid and in Barca, Vinny is 1B, Yamal is 1B. Rafinha and Mbappe being the main attacking forwards. Let's start there. Do we agree with that statement?
Partially.
Rafinha's Barca's main goal scorer, sure. I don't know if he's the main attacker.
I feel the same about
that Barca
Vinicius and
look to.
Mbappe too, though.
But the responsibilities are different, right? So it means main responsibility is more creation than goal scoring.
There you go.
He's just he's so good that he can also score a lot of goals and get himself in. But when they give Lamine the ball, what can he create for someone else?
Yeah.
Whereas
at the start of every game, you want Lamine to have the ball more than
Whereas
Rafinha does
when
the
you
ball.
give Vinny the ball, it's okay, can you score? If you can't score, then can you create? Think Vinny's more of a goal threat type of player. And he's so much more, like when he's trying to beat a player, he's trying to beat you to score. Okay. Whereas Yamil, what's that guy's name?
It confuses me too.
Taj
Lamine.
That's his name.
Lamine Yamal gets the ball and
Lamine
beats you,
Yamal, yeah.
he can still slow down again to start another phase of attack. Whereas if Vinny's beating you, he's going to go.
Okay, so it's not fair to categorize him as the second.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's okay. Okay, that's fair. But what I was trying to establish essentially is functionally, I think for the teams they're doing similar things.
Yeah.
Right, in the sense that creation is kind of on their heads.
Yeah,
they have to kind of
100%, yeah.
Right. So I wanted to look at this conversation because obviously it's Barca versus Madrid for La Liga. Let's look at it through the lens of Yamal versus Vinny.
Yeah.
I'd like to know for you guys, just on the back end of the conversations we've had, when you look at obviously Vinny's carried Madrid more, he's been there longer, but who do you think is more indispensable to their team?
Big Seven.
Lamine.
Big Seven.
Dude, Madrid could sell Vinicius tomorrow.
That's not true.
Things might get better.
That is not true.
No,
that is not true. That is disrespectful.
Things might get better.
That is disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
That's really unfair.
That's disrespectul.
No, it's not that.
Not even
it's
unfair.
Okay, wait.
Forget about unfair,
wait,
bro.
Let me say
That's
this.
disrespectful.
Let me say this. That's largely because at the end of the day, and we've had the conversation before, we're not speaking about it for too long. Folks, Mbappe plays better in Vinny's areas.
That's not true. That's not true. I don't know if you watched the game about 2-3 weeks ago when Vinicius was suspended and Mbappe played left wing. Mbappe was atrocious.
Mbappe's not a winger
Yeah,
anymore.
and if we're keeping it a stack, bro, like Mbappe, he's not, in my opinion, he's not the best dribbler. I know we had this chat a couple years ago. But he's not the
had
best
this
dribbler.
chat, bro.
He's just
You had this chat.
he's just
I
quick,
agree
bro.
with you.
He's
Yeah,
just quick. But when I actually saw him playing on the left wing, I was like, dude, this guy, like, he's a lot easier to stop than
Okay, wait.
Vinicius
This is
Jr.
the same
He is.
Mbappe who just now you were saying, no, he's injured. That's why he hasn't been useful. Why are you not giving that same grace now?
No, because
generally speaking,
I feel like the issue with Mbappe now is that he doesn't know his position, bro. Because he's not great at the wing, and he wants to be a 9, but he can't play 9.
No, but I'm saying he's getting there now
Yeah.
because he's realizing he has to play. But Mbappe is not a winger. He's a left-sided
attacker. Yes, he's not a winger.
So you're wrong when you say Mbappe is better in Vinny's position because Vinny is a left winger in that team. Not a left-sided attacker.
I think Khanya meant the spaces he occupies.
like,
No, that's what I'm saying.
He'd rather
He's a
be
left-biased
on the
attacker,
left.
but he's not
Yeah.
better than Vinny. You said he's better than Vinny.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
fair,
so
fair,
to be super clear,
Yeah.
it would be easier for Madrid to build a side if they had just Mbappe than it is with both of them.
But what is that based on, though?
I think the fact that when Madrid were at their very, very best, it was with one of them and not both of them. We haven't seen a coherent Madrid with the two of them.
For me, the way I look at it, right, and I had a conversation with a Liverpool fan yesterday. It started off by him trying to say that Szoboszlai is a better ball striker than Valverde.
That's a conversation to be had.
But yeah, let's not get into that. Let's not get into that. And we started to speak about Alonso because he was saying he wants Alonso to replace Slots. And I was trying to tell him that guy
What
is
kind
a
of
fraud.
conversation is this? What are you guys talking about?
No, he's a Liverpool fan and he wants
Yeah,
Alonso
but where
to
are we going
replace
with this?
Slots.
So what's the central line?
So I told him.
We're just throwing topics
No,
at each
listen,
other.
listen. I told him that Alonso's a fraud, right? And then obviously he asked me, like, do you feel that way because of how he treated, Vinicius Jr.? And I was like, yes, I do. Because firstly, I was never going to. People make it seem like I'm crazy for choosing Vinicius over Alonso. I've seen Vinicius win us 2 Champions Leagues. No one here can say they've seen a player one of their players win 2 Champions League. Have you seen a player win 2 Champions League?
This is violent,
I've
dude.
seen it.
No, but have you? I know you guys definitely haven't, but I'm asking you, have you?
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Yeah. None of you guys, no. I'm not fighting with you, but I'm just saying that, I've seen Big Seven win us 2 Champions League. So for Oaks to say that now we must choose Mbappe over him, it doesn't make sense to me. And for me, like, Vinny, I think he's back. I think we can all agree that he's back. But
we need a bit more.
When I know, he will give you more. Don't know why. That's a fact. That's a guarantee. Right? That's a guarantee.
Yeah.
But I think now that he's getting back on form, I can see like what made me fall in love with Vinicius Jr, bro. Because there's no one, truly, I don't think there's anyone like him on this day.
Could you articulate what it is you love? I've actually never asked you. What is it about Vinny you love so much?
So, firstly, his mentality.
I hope Vinicius is sucks.
Firstly, his mentality. Like, Vinny's relentless, bro.
Right.
Vinny
So we spoke about this, yeah.
Vinny is relentless. And honestly, I don't agree with what Thabani said when he said that, Vinny is like a score-first player, because I genuinely don't think he is.
No, he didn't.
No,
he said when he beats a man,
yeah.
But I honestly,
threat.
I don't think he is, bro, because if you saw his breakout season with Benzema, I think he had more assists than goals. I think he had
Because he couldn't finish.
Yeah.
No, it's not because he couldn't finish.
No,
it's not
it's
because he couldn't finish.
I'm just talking about.
But it's because
guys, I'm talking about.
Even now, he's still out. He still creates the most chances in our team.
No, yes,
More
I'm
than
not
our
saying he's not
midfielders,
creative.
more than other.
I'm saying in his mind, when I watch him play, if he beats someone, he's good enough to score. So he will go for goal, is what I'm saying. Lamine is not going to beat someone and go for goal. I've seen
fair
him.
enough.
That's
But
what I'm saying.
He's speaking to temperament and like what they enjoy most about the game. Yeah.
But to go back to answer your question, bro, like when Vinny's on his game, and I don't think I've seen a winger like this in a very long time, he gets the ball and he's ready to square up, bro. Do you know what I mean?
I've said that.
Doku does that, eh?
No, he does. No, Doku. No, he also does, but
level,
like
bro.
not on Vinicius' level, bro. Like when Vinny's on his game, when he gets the ball, he's squaring up.
What did I say to you?
You know he's
on the
squaring
podcast
up, bro.
like 2 years ago. He's the only winger I've seen run a game.
Yeah.
Like, in this era.
Yeah.
Like like that. You think of that Bayern Munich semi-final.
Bro,
like,
that was one of the greatest
I've never
winger
seen
performances I've seen in my life.
midfielders run games.
And he
I've
didn't
seen
score. You know he didn't score that game. He didn't.
Just hold on.
Okay, sorry.
I've seen midfielders run.
Nah, bro, you love this song too.
But I'm hyping you up. I'm hyping you up. Like,
yo.
the whole tempo of the game was on that left side of the field, and it was just the Vinny show. Get the ball, is he going to square, pass, make something happen? And I've seen him run games like that. So that's why I go back to what you said. Mbappe cannot do that as a winger.
He can't.
He's just been a left-sided attacker with other attackers, and he was just on the left because he likes to cut in, and that's his style of play. But in terms of helping a team from wide areas, Vinny is probably better at that. Helping a team.
I agree.
Mbappe can score from that wide position,
but he's not going to actually localize it.
But the Vinny thing, why I said my remark about what you said is unfair. It's think Madrid losing Vinny, they can get they can get other players, but what Gan said, that mentality. That guy will die for Madrid. He will kill himself for Madrid. And how many players can you name right now for any team that would love their team as much as Vinny?
No, Saka.
Those things matter. So
Doesn't have the intensity though, personality-wise. So it's not the same thing.
Yeah, it doesn't have the intensity.
Like he will stop someone else from speaking badly about Arsenal. Not to kill anyone.
But it's fair,
But still,
fair.
it's not the same thing.
So like
Most heartwarming Instagram post
you
ever.
need
A Twitter post, sorry.
like that's a special thing to have in a dressing room,
I
in a
agree.
team, at a club. So if Madrid lost Vinny, that would be a massive loss. And I don't care who you could put in that position and move players around on a tactics board. In real life,
You're saying the intangibles Vinny gives you a bit
we will
more
not
than...
discuss that.
far beyond.
I know for a fact,
unfair when you speak
I
about
would
like
much rather lose Mbappe than lose Vinicius.
I think going back to the question, and I do see this is a good argument, right? When you talk about assimilation to culture, right? I think Vinny does carry the Madrid probably ethos more so than Yamal, just given the age. So when you're talking about indispensability, probably that's a huge point to Vinny.
Yeah.
From a ball playing perspective or just a performance perspective, and we can loop into the point of who's having a better season. How do you guys then look at it from that perspective? Because look, Rindai, I know you probably have removed this from your brain. There are messages where you turned on Vinny, You were actually done with him not so long ago.
Like just now.
Like just like 3-4 months ago.
Nah, but I was brainwashed by Alonso. But anyway, go on. I fell for the gimmick. But I'm free.
The propaganda
You know what?
got me.
That's actually a good answer. Because you want to back a new coach.
Yeah, I wanted to, yeah.
You wanted to back the new
Yeah.
coach. You're saying need to move forward, be
Yeah.
past Ancelotti.
Right.
And as a result, you gave
Exactly.
You gave it more than Billy
But-
did.
So in terms of better season, or like who is more inevitable, just from what they do, not speaking about goals or assists, but you spoke about that Bayern game, right? If
Yeah.
we look at the last 12-18 months,
Yeah.
first question, who's having a better season? Second question, how do you who do you value as having a higher ceiling from a performance perspective?
I'll let Khanya answer first.
Higher ceiling is Lamine did.
Lamine, okay,
is.
and
Like-
better
like
season,
he-
Lamine as well.
Yes, dude.
Okay.
Like, look, at the end of the day, right? I say this as somebody who I watch Barca games hoping that they lose,
Yeah, you hate them.
but I'm tuning in because I want to watch
See,
Lamine
that's so
Yamal.
real. That is so real. Yeah, I literally watch
And like the game against Girona, right? They Barca played poorly. They deserved to lose. Glad that they got smacked. Lamine's not having bad games whenever that's happening. He is a lot of the time, because this Barca thing, it's a false image. I'm not sure if you guys are of the same opinion yet.
Which is?
Generally speaking, like as good as they are, it's only because of how good their attack is.
No, but we've known that.
Yeah. So I'm just saying when that's
Who
the,
tells us every damn week?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, we know.
He does.
I'm just saying when that's the case, when you look at how it is that they create as many chances as they do, a lot of that time it's Lamine. When there's no Lamine, yeah, sharp Rooney, Budgie, there's other guys, other creative players where they can get over the line. When Barca win handsomely, when Barca look like Barca are at their very best, there's no way that happens without Lamine running the show. He is pivotal. Madrid can
don't
have
agree with that.
their very best games without.
I mean,
without
that's
Vinny
not
doing
true.
it.
I
That's
agree
not
with that.
true.
I agree.
No.
with
I
that.
don't agree with that, but
I don't-
anyway.
yeah, I'm with
but
you.
anyway, sorry. I wanna go back to the question.
So
you
the
asked
first
about-
question, so
no,
better
about-
season and
the ceiling.
ceiling,
Right?
yeah.
Better season. I won't be mad if anyone says Yamal because
Okay.
I think
Vinny
first
up
half
and
of
down,
the season,
up and
nah,
down, yeah.
first half of the season, Vinny obviously was poor. But like I said, where my
It was
where my
Alonso.
brain goes, yes.
Yeah, sharp.
But
Alonso tax.
in terms of the ceiling question, and this is why I feel like Vinicius Jr. is disrespected, right?
He definitely is,
Because
by
I
the
feel like
I'm one of them.
out of a lot of the best players that we look at in the world right now, besides maybe Mbappe, obviously but even that's questionable. But obviously his World Cup, that
Yeah, it stamped him.
that
Stamped
stamped him. But I don't think there's a player in world football, Vinny's age, who we can say they can retire now and be a certified legend. Vinny can retire now and be a certified legend. And if you look at his Champions League record, right? Post Cristiano Ronaldo, Vinny is Mr. Champions League, bro. We can say what we want, but he is Mr. Champions League. He showed up in all the big games, even if you look at the stats, bro.
Yeah.
If you look at the stats, I think, okay, I don't want to,
No, but I get your point is made. Your point is made.
I've seen your
Yeah,
point. There was
yeah.
a table that went out a while ago saying that if you compared Vinny's stats to the highest scorers of a lot of major teams, Arsenal included, Arsenal, City,
Yeah, I saw
United,
that.
Yeah.
he's
He
top
knows.
three.
It's a horrible
And-
statistical analysis.
No,
but
but, no, but if we look,
but
if we look
no
at,
one scored more than him
Point
for
made.
those teams.
and if we look at the past 5 seasons, bro, he is Mr. Champions League. In the big games,
That he-
Vinicius is going to show up.
Most of them.
The Bayern game, for example, bro. Like that game for me was one of his best performances in the Madrid shirt.
need to go
like
back and watch
no,
it.
you must.
I need to go back and
He
watch
didn't
it.
score, he didn't
It was
assist, but
big.
what he did to Joshua Kimmich, bro.
Yeah, but
What he
it's-
I remember that.
What
I
he
remember
did to that
yeah,
man
yeah.
was.
And I enjoyed every second of it. I don't
He
know.
was over there torching him, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No, he was
had to go.
torching him.
He had to go.
So for me, that's why with the ceiling question, it's like I can understand why you think Yamal has a higher ceiling.
Internationally,
but
no remarks.
I'm waiting for the World Cup. I've got my predictions
Oh,
for that.
this World
You know what's
Cup,
crazy though?
But if Vinicius wins that World Cup,
Can I-
Wait, but
he's-
is
we're
it
not
not a
discussing
way?
him on the podcast
Wait,
again.
is it not
Oh,
a
you guys
way?
all together for the World Cup.
Is
life is a Disney movie.
there not a way he has to win it to get what you're saying?
Yeah, I agree.
Because if he gets then he's not the main guy for Brazil.
No, I don't think it matters who's the main guy because he will be one of the main guys, even if he's not.
Yeah, I don't think-
even
no,
if he's not
guys,
the outright best player.
guys,
If he's
bro.
like the second best player, he's.
I can see
I
a
don't
role
want
his bench.
to sidetrack us
Nah,
too much.
not with
I
Carlo.
can see a
Not
way.
with
I can see a
Carlo.
way.
Not with Carlo.
I don't want to sidetrack us too much, but after the last couple of years, you guys telling me about this guy has a World Cup when they were just on the pitch. You win a World Cup,
Exactly,
in any
exactly,
competition you wanna
exactly.
be.
Who name- give me-
McAllister
who are the
was
guys?
given a
Yeah,
career
McAllister.
as World
No,
Cup.
Okay,
Ball.
no, wait.
Enzo,
No one on the pod
Enzo.
gave him that.
It's
No one on the pod gave him that.
I've heard
I've given
things
him- I've
about.
given him.
I've heard about.
I've given him.
He's won a World Cup. He's won a
Thank
World
you,
Cup.
thank you,
This
Tam.
guy.
He hates McAllister,
Thank
bro.
you.
Not just
How he feels
not
about
just
McAllister
the-
by Enzo.
Not just the Argentina
everyone
World
hates
Cup. the France one before. People, when you win a World Cup, it's just World Cup winner. So it doesn't matter how you win it.
Yeah.
If you win the World Cup, so don't say it can be the worst performer.
To me it matters.
I
To me
don't
it
like
matters.
matters.
No, but
But I'm saying when we get there, if he wins the World Cup, I can put him in any conversation he wants.
But my thing is that even if he doesn't win the World Cup, bro, like this whole Champions League, 2 Champions Leagues, 2 finals goals, bro. He was the best player in both of those finals.
Sorry.
And he carried us to those Champions
He
Leagues.
was the best
For
player in
me,
both finals.
Yes.
Dortmund for sure.
Yes.
Against Liverpool. Best player Courtois, brother.
Okay, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it was
Courtois,
all-
Courtois,
And then who
Courtois was the
scored,
best
who
player.
scored for you guys, man?
Vinny.
Vinny scored.
Ben's also scored that
No,
goal.
no, it was 1-0.
Vinny.
Vinny.
You guys have played
Big seven.
You've played Liverpool so many times.
Yeah, no, it was Vinny,
So
bro.
Ben's scored 2018 is
Yeah,
when Ben
when
scored.
Carrier
Yeah,
lost the
yeah,
pass.
yeah, yeah,
Why
but
did Vinny score tap in?
No,
Nah, it was
it's
the
the one where
cross from
Trent is doing
Valverde.
Mignols.
That was
And
the
then
time.
Dijk is
Yeah, it was
doing-
kind
And
of
then he ran across and then okay.
Speed clip.
It was a tap-in. But like,
Right,
to
no, I just wanna remember
kill
that.
those the topic, because I don't want to speak about Vinicius the whole episode.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I can, but I don't want to. I'm not going to lie, right? But for me, in terms of the ceiling, I feel like Vinicius definitely has a higher ceiling
sure.
than Yamal, 100%.
Guaranteed.
I feel like when all is said and done, he's
Clear.
going down as,
As?
one of the greatest Real Madrid players of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
in turn, if
He's
you're
not
going
too
down
far.
as one of the greatest
Yeah.
Madrid
Not too far
players of
from
all
that.
time, you might go down as one of the greatest players of all time in world football.
It depends.
I hear you.
But okay, Tabani, I wanted to get your answer. Then I also wanted to just
Ask
chime
me the
in on
questions
this
again.
because- So yeah, who do you think is having a better season? And on their day, peak ceiling, who do you think would dominate a game better between the two of them?
So who's having a better season? I think you can give it to Lamine ever so slightly, just because of the instability that Vinny's had to deal with the new coach, and then being out of favor, and then et cetera, et cetera. So, but then Lamine had the injuries as well. And again, like we had this discussion before the episode, I can't think of 5, and again, we're in a moments era, right? So as much as you've got Khanya watching the game, if I'm not watching the game, I don't think that disqualifies me from giving a perception of how someone's playing. I don't know Lamine's 5 best games this season, unless I'm hearing things like the Girona game, the Soweto game,
Right.
yesterday's Villarreal. But where's the Champions League game? Where's the Super Cup final? Where's that you can throw at me? You know what I'm saying? So, maybe Lamine is having a better season. I don't actually care right now. But what I was going to say to Rindai's point is, if Big 7 is back now,
I hate that.
no, I like it. No, I like it.
Thank you,
I like
Dad.
it. I like
Big
it.
seven,
Big
bro.
seven, big
Big
seven,
seven, bro.
I'm saying if Vinny's
hell.
picked this moment to turn up now, if you tell me now you've got the Champions League knockout and the La Liga running, they're out of the cup. Who do I expect to have a better end of the season? I'd say Vinny, because he's done it before. And he's that
Exactly.
type of player.
Thank
Vinny is, okay, cool, it's Champions League, let me turn up. You can see now the
Moments, yeah.
Benfica tie, that's him, right?
I will give him that.
He's got that,
Yeah.
okay, cool, now it's my time of the season. So I fancy him to have a better end to the season. So this conversation can be very different when we sit in May, who had a better season. So right now in March, nothing's won in March, other than a Super Cup, other than a, you know what I'm saying? So I back Vinny to have maybe a better end to the season, and that's because of the type of player he is. In terms of ceiling, you're talking about footballing ability. What can Lamine Yamal do with his footballing ability? I think Vinny has kind of touched the ceiling of what he can do with the football, right? So
yeah.
we've seen the best Vinny. Now it's just about getting that out of him season after season. Then you can have any conversation you want. You can point to the season, the Champions League. So I think we're not going to see a different type of Vinny, other than what we saw when there was no striker and he played centrally. That was good, because it showed that he's got that. He's not just stick him on the wing and he's stuck there.
Right.
So he's that type of player, but we're not going to get more from him. What can Yamal do with his potential? I still think on Yamal, we've seen flashes, but I need to see him put together a season, and then a season after season, and then we can have ceiling conversations. Right now, it's okay, this kid is just phenomenal. He can do anything he wants, but then do the thing. Over and over and over, and he's still young. That's what I said. If you're gonna say Jesus Christ,
I hate
we
it.
need a nickname for him.
Dude.
Small 10.
Small 10.
Small 10.
Small 10 is cooking.
If we're gonna say small 10, if we're gonna say small 10 is 18, 19, then don't
Bring him in these
don't
talks.
shove him.
No, that's
Give him
a
the
nice
time.
one. That's a fair
Give him the
point.
time to deliver us the thing.
Don't
And
crowd him too
yes,
soon.
and then
Exactly.
in 2 years, when you come back and say Champions League final, remember that La Liga run-in when he was on. Those are the things you can bring to the table when they happen. But right now, I need more, because he's still so young, but I'm hesitant to be this kid, his ceiling is here, because we've seen 18, 19, 23 is still 4 years away, bro.
Yeah.
He's going to be 23 with how many minutes in his legs? How much wear and tear on his body. He could be a different player by the time he's 23.
No,
And then will he win a Champions League? How many leagues? And then those things add up. So we can't just now, because we like what we see aesthetically, we love him aesthetically, we love watching him. Let's be careful and not like put him too high before he gets there.
Don't crown him too soon.
yeah, look,
you know
I
what? You
think-
converted me, though. Well done.
I think
thanks,
those are great points. The one thing I want to touch on, just to give my point of view, is when you said we've seen the best of Vinny. Now it's getting it more consistently. I think when you talk about this better season, I don't care. They've both been a bit.
It's March, bro.
Yeah,
Nothing's like
that,
nothing.
that and also I just don't think they've necessarily like maybe if one is like the better C student. You know what I mean? Like they haven't been to the level that I expect them to both be at. So it's like fine if it's Jamal, it's still not where it should be. The conversation of ceiling or who can impose themselves better on like an individual game or whatever. I think I have 2 points. One, I don't think Vinny's going to evolve more as a player.
I think he can only get worse.
Yeah, I think
like
Vinny
as the pace
Vinny
goes.
is
a slower Vinny is an ugly Vinny.
yeah.
Guys, I liked what I saw
That's
when he
not-
was playing centrally, man. He had that positional
loved it.
maturity to be like,
I
okay,
loved
cool,
it too.
I need to do something different here. And I can remember the other Bayern game where he linked up with when Cruz
Good, Cruz
played him
did
to
that through
and
pass, yeah,
I
and
was
he was in the middle, yeah.
He's like, no, he can understand how to be an
he's a-
attacking
yeah,
threat.
he's an intelligent footballer, for sure.
If his game can mature,
Definitely.
it'll be forced to mature. So I think as it is now, if he still believes he can play how he plays now, cool, I agree with you. But if it's up to him, if at 28, 29, he doesn't have that burst anymore, he's not, he's lost the touch out wide, I still see him making an impact as a different type of player. I think
Interesting.
And there's not a lot of players where I would back to make that
Especially
switch.
as a Brazilian.
Exactly.
I think when opposing
These are
sides,
depths. These are
I think
depths.
when opposing sides of that, because I hear what you're saying, I just feel differently. I just don't think Vinny's he's not like, and I hate to use this clip, but you know the clip when he was playing small-sided and he was 1v1 with the guy. And then the guy's like waiting to get dribbled and he backs it up and then he just gassed. Like, I just don't see him as a tight space winger, right? Maybe centrally, I don't know the games you guys are referencing.
Yeah.
I don't know why. My brain.
If
I don't recall.
you'll know it was like last season.
I'll have
A lot
to
of it
let me
last
go do my homework. So I'll acknowledge that maybe the striker chop is real. But if I'm looking at him as a winger, right? Let's just say he plays winger, just for whatever reason. I just don't see his character arc. I'm sorry, his ability arc evolving more. I think he peaked really early. I will say this, and this is what I was thinking of. I think there've been very few players in history that have had a jump that Vinny had. Very few players have risen to world class as abruptly as Vinny did, right?
And he was written off, eh?
And he was
we
written off.
all
Yeah.
wrote him off.
Yeah, except for. But yeah. So like, I don't think we're gonna get an evolution in Vinny. I think Yamal has so many different things that he can. We hope change.
That we hope he
but
can
for
do.
me, I don't even think it's a questioning of hope. I think injury concerns always real.
I think his base skill set
It's
allows
too-
him to
it's
do
too-
more
it's
things
too
than he can
secured.
do.
So
Like you
that-
talk about like the evolution that Vinny needs to make to play centrally. I think a lot of Lamin's skill set already allows him to do those.
The same thing we
He's
saw
just
with
pacey
Neymar.
and young, so you allow him to do
or
it.
like Messi.
And I fear for this kid, Oaks.
Yeah, me
He's
too.
19 with
Yeah.
how many minutes in his legs? Like,
And-
4 years ago, he
And
was
at
really
the
free.
end of the day, like when I look at Yamal, bro, like mentality matters, bro. You get what I mean? No, but it does. No, but my thing is
That's the thing,
that
though.
it really matters, bro.
Yeah, it
We've
is.
seen a lot of talented
Yeah,
footballers,
just
bro.
for waste
But
away.
Mentality really does matter.
It does.
And for me, I question Lamin's mentality.
But there's two types of mentalities, right? Or there's not two, there's many.
There's many, yeah.
But the two I want to highlight is there's the Vinny, the tenacious. Vinny plays like someone who's impoverished.
No, but I'm-
right? And I said this in the last episode. Like Vinny plays like someone who had nothing.
Yeah.
And you can see every time he gets on the pitch, and that's what I respected about him. The first thing that struck me about Vinny, and this is actually the second point I want to make, is in the moment, you can recognize, I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm going to go. I'm going to... And then there's others, the people who learn from losing. And I know what you're saying about Yamal, but one thing I can tell you right now, when Yamal, it's coming. That painful loss. Every footballer has it, right? Yamal, the way he is, he likes this. He likes the noise. He likes people doubting him. I think he's the type where when that Champions League L comes, or the World Cup, or the Euros...
But the L came.
The L came.
That was a painful one.
Which
That
one?
Inter one.
Inter.
That was painful.
That was his
You
first
can't say
game.
that was
But
not
you
painful.
remember that
bro.
was his game, man.
Last minute,
That was his game.
bro.
That was his-
last minute. Literally the last minute.
It's different. It's different when you've done your job and you've taken an L. It's wrong, but sometimes you leave saying, I did my role," especially if you're young. Versus, I think the most painful L I've seen of a superstar was Argentina-Chile Copa America final. Because Messi was not only neutralized, he missed the pen, and Sanchez outplayed him. That
He
L,
retired.
That L
Yeah,
where
that,
you're
yeah.
looking at someone in the eye and you're saying, oh no, you actually played better than me, eh? That one to humble the soul. I think that will do something for Yamal. And I'm just looking at the ingredients of him. So from the ceiling perspective, I do have him a bit higher than Vinny, only because I've seen Vinny, in my opinion, what I believe to be his peak. Maybe I'm wrong, and I'll happily come on and say I'm wrong if I'm wrong. But I don't think we've seen that. I don't even know what that looks like for Yamal. Not because of the reservations you two have, but because I think the sky is the limit. I do just want to close the topic on this though. I think we need to make a new category of winger, because I'm realizing as we speak that you spoke about people not respecting Vinny. I think I'm one of those people, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's not because I don't rate him, it's because I don't rate what he does. So the best example I can use is if I can just talk about music for a second. As
Right
a
here,
hip-
J. Cole, I'm leaving, bro.
Analogy king,
Right here,
bro.
J. Cole, I'm
King,
skipping.
no,
Analogy
wait,
king,
wait,
bro.
let me
So
just
now-
talk about hip hop. Let me talk about rap for a
Yo,
second.
analogy king, bro.
The biggest, I think everyone, Rindai, you'll know because we're at St. John's together. Maybe Khanya, you also took notes. I got left behind musically around 2015, right? Because I always look at What a Time to Be Alive, and If You're Reading This Is Too Late, as the integration of trap into rap music. I'm there listening to Pimp a Butterfly, and then I'm going out with the Oaks, and they're talking about Dirty Sprite 2, and I'm just like, what the hell is this? I didn't know how to appreciate that, right? So when we created a new category of hip hop, and it was trap, or it was whatever you want to call it, I slowly but surely converted and started to appreciate. I feel the same way about Vinny as a winger. And you know what else I put in that category? Sterling and Salah. Like, there are wingers who don't look the most refined in how they approach things. They're wingers who have the intangibles that you're speaking to, tenacity, big game moment realization, big goals. But because I've come up when we were younger, it was Figo, it was Dino. Then we go to Messi, Neymar. I watch those Oaks play, and when I see them play, I say they're doing things that I could train for 10 years to try do, and I'm not gonna try. You know how many times I tried to recreate that Nike ad, the volleys on the crossbar? You know how many times
What are you doing, bro? You had too much time.
No, but you know what I'm saying? But when I look at Vinny, his finishes are comprehensible. They're great. But like one of my favorite Vinny goals was against City. I was watching it in Costa Rica.
Which City game? There's
Yeah,
been
it's
3,000, dog.
It may have been one of your first few.
The Fernandinho one where he...
Yeah,
where
he dropped
the
it
ball,
through. Yeah, like that
Vinny
game.
knowledge is too deep. Wait for the Dino one.
I remember that.
That was a crazy goal.
Yeah, that's a crazy goal.
Blank, bro.
That's one of my
That's-
favorite. I look at that goal and I love the goal, but I don't look at it in the same. What the hell?
Yeah.
As like Messi's chip against who's that team in green?
Betis.
Betis. That crazy. Like, you know what I
No,
mean? So for me, I want to create a category of winger to close where I don't know what we classify it as, whether it's big game wingers or some where I can appreciate him, because I will never. I'm telling you now, I will never love your guy in the context of.
No, I get it.
I will never.
And I just wanted to touch on what you said before we move on, right? Sorry. But I think why people, rate Lamine so much is because they see glimpses of Messi, even though they don't want to speak about it, right? They look at him and they're like, okay, this talent level.
Messi,
but I
Neymar,
want to put it out there. He's never going to be Leo.
Ever.
And I can see it now. I don't even think he's going to, get close to Leo, right?
I
But
agree.
to your Vinicius point, and I understand why, you wouldn't rate Vinicius, right? But I think it's similar to Cristiano in the sense that, they're not the type of players that will ball out for the full 90 minutes. Do you get what I mean? They're going to make mistakes, and Vinny understands that. He knows he's going to lose the ball, right?
Yeah.
But the thing about football and the thing
like
about
that tech.
and the thing about big games, especially, is that they're always going to be those moments.
And they will be
Vinny,
there where that
Vinny
moment-
will be there.
Yeah.
Best believe when that moment comes. Even the Benfica game, where you get what I mean? That was a tough game,
Tough
bro.
game, yeah.
But you saw that
Big
finish.
goal, big
you saw
goal,
that finish.
big goal.
Do you get what I mean?
No,
he is going
I
to
hear
be there.
you.
I
It's a
think
good
Cristiano
point.
was similar
Yes,
in that sense.
second half of his career.
Yeah,
Yes.
he wasn't, necessarily the type of player who's gonna.
Forget
who's
the
gonna-
90. It is about
Yeah,
I will win
but
this game.
exactly. But it's like, when those moments come, are you going to be there?
Sorry, I'm
Because my thing with Lamine, you can have a good game, bro. You get what I mean? You can have a good game and still lose. You get what I mean?
I hear you.
Vinny is concerned about winning, and that's why I respect him.
And that's why I put him with
he wants to
Sterling
win the
and
game.
Sterling and
Yeah.
Salah for
So
the most part.
I don't care how many times Vinicius loses the ball.
Fairs.
Because I know when his moment comes, he's going to deliver, bro. He's going to deliver, and for me, that's what matters.
And you know what? Maybe it's a different, different again ways to watch football. We'll watch football differently.
Yeah.
That type of player, like I've always just taken an issue with. That's why I have an issue with Bruno.
Yeah.
Right, because it's like maybe it's a
Ironically,
midfielder.
it's why-
but he's
it's
similar in
ironically,
that
it's why I
sense,
love
too.
Bruno.
Maybe it's a midfielder mindset.
Yeah.
Because you're told you don't lose
You
the ball.
don't lose the ball,
You lose the
exactly,
ball.
yeah.
Even, whereas as a
Yeah.
winger, you almost have to accept that you're going to
You
lose
have
the ball
to.
and keep going.
you have to lose the ball.
On top of that, in this modern age, how many wingers you're not even what you said about they're not squaring up.
Yeah, they're not trying.
They're beating one guy a game. Everything's a back pass. Thank God we've got guys who are just gonna go and go and go and go and go and go.
Yeah. So I was laughing because there's this clip going around of Ronaldo in the World Cup. Was it against Brazil?
Yo,
Yeah, it's insane.
that was dark.
Yo,
That was dark.
it's one of the ugliest counters I've ever seen.
When he's shooting from everywhere.
No, he needs
Rindai,
to-
Rindai is insane.
He needs to do what
It's-
LeBron did.
it's actually
You know when
terrible.
LeBron got the footage of the
terrible.
dunk at the Olympics and wipe. He needs to call
Yo.
LeBron's guys and get that clip wide.
There's a clip where legit he's out wide, man. Like touchdown. It's almost the halfway line. So he's still
But don't forget, that's the type of player Ronaldo was, though.
Oaks forgets, yeah, that's what they're saying.
Don't forget,
Oaks forget.
that's the
why
type of
I
player
accept-
that he
I-
was,
I
bro.
accept your
Yeah.
point. No,
That's the type of player he was.
I wanna
No,
move-
but
I
actually
wanna-
that clip is scary, though.
I know it's the best. No, I'm gonna add that to whatever reel I make from this. But I want to quickly move on to Champions League football. Whilst we're talking about European what's. We'll be quick on this. We won't linger on it too much. We saw the draw.
Stinks.
Yeah, it does stink, though.
Stinks.
Well, draw stinks. Okay, that's the bunny's take. Any standouts for you guys? Obviously, other than the perennial Madrid
City
City
again.
tie. Is there anything else that you guys looked at and said, "Oh, that's interesting," or
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch that?
Congrats to you guys.
Yeah.
Champions League final.
God, here
Arsenal.
we go again.
I think
Power rankings.
Eh?
Where do we stand?
it is not power rankings. This is
No,
the
I'm just
easiest
checking.
run to the draw, and you guys can't
Yeah,
beat
I
Barca.
feel like you have to be in the semis.
Like no, they're
at the
going
very
to,
least.
like well
Yeah,
done.
If you don't make the semis, that's
No, it's good to have expectations. Yeah, that's fair.
So well done on reaching the final, Arsenal. You will lose the final, like I said a few episodes.
Do you think we beat Barca in the semis if we play?
Yeah.
I think
So
you do.
ironically,
I think
I
you
think
do.
we beat Barca in a semi if we played them in the final.
Thank you.
Fact.
And I'm saying look at the other side of the draw.
Yeah.
Literally every winner from 2020 is there. Whoever makes it to that final has more Champions League pedigree than you, which goes back to my take. Actually, editor, stitch this clip with my old clip and we'll play it after the Champions League final when Arsenal lose. You have to remember I said you have to
before you win.
Yeah,
you have to lose before you win.
100%,
This will be
yeah.
your lose before you win
Season.
your Champions League because you'll probably win the league, I do think. Carabao Cup is much of a muchness, but you'll probably win the FA Cup, so you'll have those two. But you're gonna have those treble aspirations and then take the hit in the Champions League.
Fairs.
You'll lose to
I can see
Madrid.
that script.
realistically,
I can see that script. yeah.
And like I said, I don't care who you face in that final. I will just fancy that other team to win a one-off game in the
get
Champions
you.
League final.
I
So
get you.
congrats. That one half of the draw stinks, bro.
Yeah, it
I don't know. Bro, I'm not shooting into Sporting, Bodo Glimt. Who else is there?
It's Atletico, Spurs, and then Barcelona,
Spurs.
Newcastle.
Nah, but if
Spurs.
Atletico.
No.
What about
Bro,
them?
they win and they
I'm
lose.
saying like if Arsenal play
yeah.
Atletico, I'm not
They
just
just
giving.
Atletico
weird.
win and
I'm
they
not,
lose.
I'm not giving
it's a
Arsenal.
tough
Arsenal,
one.
yeah,
Atletico's
bro.
a tough choice.
And Atletico
Arsenal
have
do
the
better.
Champions League XP, bro.
Yeah.
I just think from
that
that
side
side
of-
Hold on, guys. Sorry.
like of the teams on that side. What are you doing?
No, we all had our side.
We just win it.
We just had two podcasts.
Sorry, Khanya.
Whatever, for all their faults, right? If there's one side that's on the side of us, like same bracket, that's meant for big games, it's them.
100%.
Like Madrid don't want to play them.
Yeah.
Barca don't want to play them. Like they are the
You
other
should
team.
win.
have
You
Champions
spanked
League
them
XP
4-0
too.
At home.
Win.
Look, I'm just saying that they aren't like dust.
No, they
we are hot. That's a different conversation.
No, but I'm saying I think we should. There's that. That's what you said there is a narrative chat. We like this narrative about athletic tenacity. What have they done in the Champions League in recent years that you can remember? There's like
Not in recent years, but if we look at maybe like the past 10 to 15 years, bro.
Bro,
like
from that side,
heritage matters.
But I'm saying,
they're
but
100%
matters.
the
but I'm
most
saying,
accomplished.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
from that
Arsenal.
side.
No team is going to go into a title lately. It's going to be Arsenal thinking they were finalists 10 years ago. That matters. They beat them 4-0 in August.
Tabani,
bro.
I agree with you because that 4-0 purged the demons, in my opinion. If we didn't win that game, I'd agree with you two.
I think
But
going to
But
the
you guys
Emirates.
do know Simeone, bro.
I think
Simeone is a demon.
winning at the Emirates is very different to winning at the Wanda.
Say that again.
But I'm saying that's
Winning
what
at
I'm
the
saying.
Emirates is very different to winning at the. We have like that specific
And that
game.
guy's
I don't
going
think
to
we
talk
can do
the
that.
bus.
But that's what I'm saying. Anything that they do
He's
to you at the
not
one,
gonna play
you'll
the
just beat
same
them at the
way.
Emirates.
I suppose.
You're a better team than them.
Yeah, no. So for me, my
we'll see.
takeaways, the game I'm very excited for is Galatasaray Liverpool. I think that is going to be a nail biter, and I just say that
Yeah.
because
Their league phase game was hot. Remember that now?
yes, and I like
Osimhen Day.
I like what I saw against Inter were weird against Galatasaray. They were strange.
You mean?
Juve, sorry, were
Yeah.
weird against Galatasaray. Inter is for Bodo, and that's what I'm getting to after this. But I liked attacking football on the break. Liverpool have no choice but to play attacking football because they can't really depend on defensive integrity for 90 minutes. So I think it's going to be a very good game. I always love when Van Dijk goes up against traditional nines, you know, because then we get answers to the questions of what, you know, and he hasn't necessarily fared the best against them. He has a good record against Haaland. But then I look at like what Isak did to him at Newcastle. Or Seaman has gotten the better of him against Napoli a few times when he played Napoli. So I'm very excited for that matchup as always. And then the other one, Bodo, is it Glimt or Gilt?
Glimt.
What the hell is going on? Are we
It's
watching?
not that deep.
It's the fault of this new format.
It's not that deep,
They've
bro.
overachieved in the league phase.
No, it's not a 16.
They're going to get dealt with now.
So you're saying they've overachieved in the league phase?
Yeah, well, shout out to them, bro. Shout out to the new format. Get the money in. Oh, Bodo Glimt, and now they're going to get wiped.
Yeah.
So you think that into game? You're not really looking into it.
Inter, and you heard what Barella said. I think he was very upset, and he made a valid point about this new format that Inter were very harshly done with that penalty at the end of the Liverpool game.
Yeah.
And that ended up costing them a place in the top 8, which is why they had to go to this playoff. And it's a playoff that I guess the Inter players weren't up for. And I guess you do have to turn up, but those fine margins are now like Inter's out of the Champions League. They've crashed out to this team. That's a tough away game, you know? I mean, Amorim dealt with it, but it's a tough place to go, Bodo.
So did Ange.
Yeah, you see, it's a tough place to go.
Where they from?
Norway.
Norway.
I've got a question for the both of you though. So do you guys agree that Arsenal are going to be in the Champions League final?
I agree. Brother, I expect us to be there.
I don't think so. I don't think
But
it's
for
a guarantee.
me, okay, you expect them to be so.
I expect them to be there.
So
I
if you're
expect
saying Lamine is the best, shouldn't you be afraid of Lamine? Clearly you're not afraid of him.
I'm dead. We're back.
No, but I'm just asking though.
That's amazing.
Because if he's the best, we talk about the
Barca
guy
can't
that's
defend.
No, forget about the defense.
What do you mean forget about the defense? Forget about the leg tie.
Pause. So
They have to don't aggregate scores, goal difference.
Let me just, okay, so...
Eric Garcia plays for Barcelona.
I don't care about that, bro.
Wait. They don't know what we're talking about. They have no idea. So in pre-production, Khanya said Lamine Yamal is the best player in the world. Could be the best player in the world. So Rindai is now saying, why are you not fearing playing the best player in the world if he's the best player in the world?
Because he plays for a team with a terrible fucking defense.
that's
not real.
That's not a good enough
There's a bunch of
excuse.
holograms there. I promise you, we can be a
but
better back four than what Barca have right now on any random weekend,
Your
bro.
attack is not that great, though.
Nah, but
Your attack is not that. You can score against teams, but you don't want to get into a score off.
So ultimately, and we won't because our defense is so good.
Okay, let's not talk about Lamine, right? But my point, right, with modern day football, is that we wanna.
Dog, you know, I back any team.
But we wanna put the best player in the world title on a lot of players.
Yeah.
But we don't wanna give them the responsibility to carry their team. When I say Vinny the best player in the world, I've got the chips. No, but I've got the chips.
How did we get there?
I've got the chips too. I've got the chips to back up my point.
Okay,
Lamine, what are we talking about? It's talent.
Okay,
Take your team. Take them over the line.
Let's focus here. Let's be super clear. Do you think if Barca play Arsenal with 2 legs, what do you think happens?
It
What
depends
I think
on
happens,
Barca.
I don't know what happens,
I
but
think-
I don't know what happens.
I think
personally.
it depends
I don't
on
know what
Barca
happens.
turns out.
We need this at
I
every
don't,
episode.
I don't know what happens.
Every episode.
I think Barca can win that game.
Sorry,
personally. I
every
do
episode
think-
when the spirit of Vinny takes over, we need this guy to just pop up on editing. We need to just get.
Can I
this
say one
to
thing?
go on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing? To your point, what do you think happens? Sorry to do this to you. If Lamine is the guy you just said he was earlier in the show, you will lose that tie. Because Arsenal don't have a player that can match Lamine on his day. So, sorry, I'm answering your question. Like I said, you don't want to get into a...
You don't want a 3-3 or 4-3 with them, 100%.
You don't want to get into a score. Rafinha will dust you, Oaks.
Yeah.
They've got Lewandowski, they've got Yamal. Their midfield can go to the Emirates and control a game.
Yes.
The Barca's one of the very few teams that
Although
can...
without De Jong.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying, okay, yes, personnel-wise. But Barca's one of the very few teams that can go to
Capability,
any away ground
yes.
and play their football and dominate. So it depends who's available for Barca. But I think Arsenal will get the job done, not because they're a better team. I just think that they've purged the demon. They're not the bottle team anymore. The Madrid side, they can beat the best in the world. That's why I think it can. But be very careful about what do you think Barca will do to us when they've got the guy that you've told us is the best. Like, Rindai's asking a fair question.
It's a fair question.
And I hear it. I just think that as good as Barca are, there's a reason why they lose the types of games they lose. Like it's to have a flaw that glaringly obvious.
And then you know what's
Can't be ignored. Brother, that's a Martinelli brace.
Can I
put it in the bag?
Can I preempt you for the argument that we're going to have in the group?
Yeah.
When you beat Barca and Lamine has a 9 out of 10 performance, don't tell us he's the best in the world, because Rindai will then tell you why didn't he take you to the final.
Brother, Barcelona.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we've heard this,
yeah.
so I'm preempting you because that argument will happen.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, remember what you said on the podcast, so let's clip it now and I'll just send the clip.
Madrid
to
also
the
wouldn't be the final. Neither of us have a leg to stand on.
Okay, so
Someone else will win the Ballon d'Or.
can I get back to the topic? Can we?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
That was a good debate, though. That was a good debate. That was shout out to Base Never Die. That was good. That was good.
And he didn't let that debate die, bro. Yeah. he said actually. But no, I just wanted to basically get if there was any temperature temperature check on Bodo. Obviously, Thabani, I get what you're saying. They benefited from the system, the format. Maybe teams are nyatting them, meeting them in playoffs. I think Inter, weird. Even that Barella answer is a bit weird because, like,
It's a lack of accountability.
yeah, you know, a little bit, but I acknowledge. Yeah, no, for me, that's all I really wanted to touch on in the Champions League. I was then going to segue to I don't know where we are on time, but I was going to segue to the Arsenal-Chelsea preview.
2-0 Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal. How are you feeling, Rindai?
I hope Arsenal win for you guys' sake. but I know. But at the same time,
I like this
at the
rhythm.
same time, excuse my language, but I know both of you guys are shitting bricks right now. Because you know if you lose this game, it's done. Don't act like you're not nervous, bro. Don't act like you're not nervous.
I haven't been nervous for Chelsea game in 4 years.
Okay, cool.
I think if it was away, I'd be nervous. At home.
I don't think it's about the fact that you doubt you can beat Chelsea, but it's the nerves, bro. They're kicking in.
Not Chelsea.
The nerves are kicking in.
I'm with you.
Yeah, bro.
If it was United today.
If it was United,
If it was
United, if it was Liverpool,
United,
fucking hell.
Not Chelsea,
Even
bro.
Newcastle.
I hope this ages well for you guys. I won't lie.
Yeah.
This will be a generational clip.
No, can I tell you?
Generational
Can I
clip.
tell you now?
Look,
Going viral.
We've
you can't make me nervous because
No,
we're
I'm
all
not trying to
just
make you
midway.
nervous.
My point is like,
we've just confirmed we're winning because when Rindai is hating.
No, but Cheeks, man.
Yeah.
No, but
That's when that's when he said you guys. I said
no,
yes.
but man, I get your point about Chelsea, but we're not going to act like the Wolves game didn't happen. For me, it's not about the team you're playing
different kinds of
against.
games.
Different types of games.
No, but for me, it's not
Different
about the team they're playing against. Every single game.
Also,
every single
Chelsea-
Premier League
Chelsea
game from
do
now
have-
until the end of the season, you should be shitting bricks. You
Chelsea-
should not be confident. You should.
Chelsea
You
do have
should.
a pundit as their coach as well. So
An analyst.
Don't
Like,
Yeah,
I really
Deal.
hope Arsenal win though. Genuinely.
No,
I hope they do.
Thabani, your prediction?
let me just let me play devil's advocate for Rindai's point. It is still a big game.
Yeah.
People know on this podcast I rate Arsenal at this point, so I don't see them losing at home to Chelsea.
Yeah.
But should this be the banana peel, another one that you slip on? Rindai's point is completely valid. It's just the fact that it's your point about not losing this game is right. I think putting your Chelsea being the horse you bet on is a bad bet.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's it. If
yeah.
today, like I said, if it was a United game, if it
Anyone
was,
else,
Bro,
really,
even
bro.
Brighton, I'd feel like
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But,
like there's just.
but again, we're nyasing Chelsea now. This
Yeah,
could be very funny in a
that's
few
what I'm
hours.
saying, bro. Like,
This could be very funny in a few hours.
Look,
Can I-
ultimately, the thing is, he the first thing he said was, "You guys are shitting bricks." No,
We're not.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
Just
Look,
fundamentally disqualifying that.
I would be. That's
I
why.
think-
That
I-
maybe I'm projecting.
I think
but I
you
would
are.
be. Yeah.
Because Chelsea,
maybe I am.
Chelsea
Yeah,
hurt
but I'm
Madrid
saying
a lot
you
more.
better win though.
Yeah,
You better win.
Yeah, but that's the case for every game, including when we play City.
I think
the final, that is.
the brick shitting, for me, it only really applies when there is precedent to that fear. So like the reason I say Brighton is because etched into my brain and etched into the brain of every Arsenal fan is Bissouma laughing at Monreal
Yeah.
on the ground. You know what I mean?
No, I get
the clip,
you.
the
I
clip
get you.
Toby has saved on his phone that he looks at when he's sad. Like,
Bro, Chelsea fans don't text me anymore.
They-
no matter what happens.
you know, the only time they made noise
Where's
was the
Les?
most.
You see?
Yeah, you haven't seen him. Yeah, the only time they made noise was the draw, the 1-1, because they
Yeah.
did play better than us after the 10 men, right? So,
And again, it's for a draw.
so no, for me, Chelsea, I'm a bit more comfortable. Next week we can have a different
I was
conversation.
more nervous about Spurs.
Yeah, I was nervous about Spurs.
I didn't buy. It was a
NLD.
fake nerves.
No,
NLD, bro.
Just because,
Nervous gimmick. That was nervous gimmick.
also, crucially, that's an away game. At the Emirates, if I'm nervous in a game like this,
Spurs are
there's an
shit.
issue.
What is your
That's a
prediction,
much
Chief?
bigger issue.
Oh
there.
yeah, my prediction. So we're playing at what time? 6:30, which is what 4:30 UK time.
What is it? Is it calculating the weather or what?
Guys, like, comment, subscribe. Bro. What's this guy doing, bro? What's this guy doing, bro?
I'd say that's an easy 3-1 Arsenal dub. Eh?
Okay.
Let me not say easy. I think Arsenal score, or Chelsea score first, Arsenal equalize. It contests, and then Chelsea fall apart in the last 20-30 minutes.
Okay,
But hey, if we're wrong, have us in the comments. You guys don't comment. Anyways, lovely, great episode, boys. We're checking in March 15, the next
Yeah,
next
just
episode.
now.
So you're gonna be hearing from us more consistently. We're spending our money to entertain you. We love that. As always, keep debating. We'll see you at the next one. Cheers.
One last thing. Bodo Glimt thing, not that deep. It's round of 16. Let's not get that carried away.
Oh.
And they run it super fucking easy.
You broke the
Playing
fourth-
Sporting.
you broke the fourth wall. Okay.
No. They are.
Please cut
We
this
have
up,
done
episode.
way
This
too
must be-
much for a team that is. It's cool. It's a cool story. Let's leave it at that.